welcome back to the DMG's Third and Wrong YouTube channel. We got a little mock talk here today. We're going to be going over Broshmo's post-Super Bowl mock draft. We won't be showing his actual video due to possibly some copyright restrictions, but we got all the picks here that we went through and we did a little draft for it ourselves here on the Draft Network. So the same picks as his, just not his video, but it'll get the point across. And we're here with Dylan today. Dylan, how you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, Gage apparently isn't here. Guess he's sick, so yeah, again, another video with just us two.
Yep.
But yeah, no, good day and just ready to have football back again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Miss it already.
But yeah, I think we'll just put Broshmo's link in our description just to give him some credit
Yep.
too for this.
Yep.
So don't want to be stealing anyone's clout or anything like that,
Nope.
but I do think this should be a pretty good mock draft. I do like Broshmo's analysis. He's pretty in tune with the way that most people are thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
usually he isn't the most off base out of most people that like I listen to and everything. So should be good.
Yep. All right, you ready to dive right on into it?
Oh yeah. So pick number one. I'm gonna try and scroll where it only shows one at a time. But pick one. See, here's Ikem Ikwanu. This is a guy that I know Broshmo is really heavily invested in. I think he thinks he's the number one tackle, and the Jaguars need to go to get an offensive lineman. I think that's pretty common. Most people have an offensive tackle here. It's just going to kind of surprise people who eventually does get picked here. I think Ecom is definitely an interesting one. He's definitely a beast. He just has more work to do than all the other pass protectors, but I don't think you can go wrong with this pick.
No, yeah. Decent one there.
Yeah, number two.
Yep, number two. The Lions going with Kyle Hamilton. It's kind of an interesting one for me. I mean, Kyle Hamilton, he's obviously a hell of a player. He's, if not the best, like, pound-for-pound guy in the draft. Super athletic, super tall. Dude just flies across the field. Not just a safety. Dude's like 6'4", 215 or 220, something like that. He's an absolute beast on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he can play a lot of other positions. So I think that might be kind of what they're looking for here at this pick. Obviously, I mean, he might be able to come off the edge with this side with his size, to be honest. So, I think he kind of picked Kyle Hamilton here for the Lions just based off of that fact that he can play multiple positions on the defense if he truly wanted to. So I think you're getting more than just the safety aspect out of him. So I mean, I kind of like that pick for the Lions. They need help at a few spots on the defense, and maybe Kyle Hamilton can fit into some of those spots. So I
Yeah,
kind of like the pick here at two.
yeah. The biggest draw is not taking like an Aiden Hutchinson,
Yeah.
but you know, things like this can and will happen in the draft. So, all right, number three, we got the Houston Texans taking Evan Neal. So two tackles go before any of the edges go. Again, interesting. Texans need help everywhere. I think everyone knows that. I mean, they just need to sell the team and do a whole lot to just change everything about the organization. They need new uniforms. You know, almost everything other than the logo is pretty sweet. But
Yeah.
other than that, like taking Evan Neal, you're you're creating more options down the road with Laramie Tunsil and Evan Neal on the same team, or Laramie Tunsil potentially being traded for future draft capital, which the Texans need since they've been kind of devoid of that last couple of years. So this is, I think, it's the safest pick, and it brings a more profitable future out for the Texans than taking an edge or something like that. So I can see this one, but I am shocked that neither Aiden or KT have gone yet.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick for him still, though.
Yeah. All right, number four.
Oh,
There we
here we
go.
go.
Aiden
Yep.
Hutchinson.
Speaking of Aiden Hutchinson, number 4 Jets, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. There. It's a different pick, obviously, because usually these guys are more likely gone in the first and second spot between him and like Kayvon. But Aiden to the Jets. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. Obviously, he's a hell of a player, but I don't know if that's really one of their main concerns that they need to be focusing on with this number 4 pick here. But then at the same time, also like Charles Cross is still available, so like you can get him or Sauce Gardner. You can fix your cornerback spots a little bit. I don't
Well,
know. What do
I
you think
just
about
look
that?
at how impactful
Yeah,
the Bosas, the Watts are,
that's true.
even like just Miles Garrett,
Yeah, that's true.
Von Miller. So it just changes how much your defense can play
Yeah,
with having someone like that. So I think it's a BPA pick,
yeah.
and
That's
Robert Saleh needs the trenches shored up, and I think that's probably the best
yeah.
pick you can put.
Didn't he say that? Didn't he say he wants to?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of makes sense then. So, but yeah. So if
Yeah.
that's how they're
It's,
talking, then that really does make sense for the pick then.
yeah, it's just not what we typically see in
Yeah.
these mock talks, but all right, number 5, Kayvon Thibodeau to the
Boom.
Giants. I think if we have any Giants fans, hold your comments. We understand that you guys want offensive tackle. The two top ones are already gone. This is a pick that, yes, obviously you need offensive tackle, or offensive line in general. But this is a good pick because you have a game plan for your defense with someone like Kayvon Thibodeau. You also get kind of a star in the making. He's got a big personality and everything like that. I know that is kind of what New York likes to have, but he's bendy. He's got all the natural ability, and getting a defensive coordinator that can show him what he needs to learn and everything like that, you can make, another beast at edge here. So this is something that you take because you have your offensive tackle pick coming up in 2 picks.
Yeah.
You go and get the best player available and just hope that you get Charles Cross uh, on pick 7.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, number 6.
Number 6 is the Panthers taking Malik Willis out of Liberty there. Yeah, their quarterback room is in shambles. They need help. Malik Willis, a lot of people are pretty big on him now after the Senior Bowl, saying he probably has the highest ceiling, the most potential. He's got a lot of raw ability there, but just has to be able to make it all work. He needs to quit a few of the habits that he has developed at Liberty, but I think they need a quarterback, and quarterbacks will always go high. They're probably the most important position on your team, probably. So they'll always go high, regardless of what you think of them. They're always going to be up there. But Malik Willis to the Panthers, I don't think it's a horrible pick. I don't really know if he kind of fits their offense a little bit. I don't know. It just depends on how well you can develop him and actually fix what needs to be fixed with him, and then to be able to get the best out of what he can do and then make it that much better.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. All right, so number 7 is the other pick for the Giants, and there you go, Charles Cross. So I think, in a sense, depending on what the Panthers are doing, quarterback or not, you're going to get basically 2 back-to-back picks here with the Giants, and coming away with Kayvon Thibodeau and Charles Cross is, hands in the air. We did what we needed to
Yeah.
do, and let's get ready for day 2. I think this is exactly what the Giants are hoping for. But yeah, Charles Cross, just to reiterate on Charles Cross, if you haven't seen our other videos, one of the best pure pass protectors in the draft class right now. He probably has the most pass protection snaps and one of the fewest pressures allowed, especially with that Mississippi State passing heavy offense. with Mike Leach there. Charles Cross looks great across the board. I think some people are just wondering, what is he going to look like when he is asked to lead the charge in running the ball and things like that. But a lot of people have Charles Cross going number one, all the way
Hmm.
down to number 27, stuff like that. Like he's going to range a little bit, but this is a great pick. You get a solid player, and you have Andrew Thomas on that line as well. Gives you two stellar picks to kind of do what you need to do, put the best five on the offensive line. So I really like that.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right, number 8.
Oh, number 8 Falcons here. Sauce Gardner. We've talked about it before, doubling up at cornerback here. Sauce Gardner, he's amazing. He's obviously he's a stud at corner. Him and AJ Terrell, both on the defensive side there. It's not a bad pick. I think there's maybe a few other spots that you would look to fill instead of doubling up at corner, but then again,
Seems like
doubling,
it's a little more
yeah,
BPA.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm
But
thinking too. But I
yeah.
mean, Sauce Gardner
Um,
there isn't a bad pick, but I think there's a
huh,
few other spots that I'd look instead.
yeah, for sure. But no, I mean, we've talked a lot about Mark Gardner. He's dope, and
Hmm.
I mean, having two cornerbacks like that is going to be very nice. But yeah, moving on, number 9, Devon Lloyd. This is kind of the linebacker I like the most in the draft. It seems like Broshmo is getting on that same page as well. Basically, he's got a lot of production on tape that you really like, but he also has the tools to show you that he has a lot of room to grow in the sense that his ceiling is so high with his athletic ability and the frame that he carries with him. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal tight end coverage type linebacker. And he's going to be able to stop the run. He's rangy and everything like that. I think this is the kind of pick where you say they are going quarterback somewhere else no matter what. So we're going to put in a linebacker here. But no, I think this is great option. I think Gardner it would be tempting there if he hadn't already gone, but
Yeah,
I think Devin Lloyd is a very good answer here.
yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, number 10.
Number 10, oh my boy. Number 10 here, Treylon Burks to the Jets. I like Treylon Burks a lot. If you've watched any of our previous videos, obviously me and Gage are very, very high on Treylon Burks. He's a 1A, 1B receiver in this draft for sure, at least in our opinion. Some places or some people aren't very high on him, but I am very high on Treylon Burks, and I hate this pick. I hate this pick because if the Jets get Treylon Burks, I will be very upset. But I think for Zach Wilson's sake, I think that's a good guy to come in there. What is he? 6'3", 225. He can run for days. He can get separation. He has sure hands. He's an absolute machine. And I think if the Jets
Yeah.
pick Treylon Burks here at 10, I think they're getting themselves a pretty solid player here.
Yeah, I think we mostly see Garrett Wilson or Drake London here,
Yeah,
but Traylon would be rather interesting because
yeah.
he's just someone that you scheme things for. So yeah, I really like it.
I hate this pick. Move on.
All right, number 11, we are going down to the commies. This is actually a pick that we have on our 2.0 mock draft. With just a little sneak peek there, it's probably already out now actually. But
Yep.
Desmond Ritter is a quarterback that is going to give um, Ron Rivera enough of a quarterback right now to show what his team really is, and not give an excuse to the quarterback. I think he's going to have a lot of just rough games there with Washington, and it's just mainly because his inaccuracy concerns. But he's got the size, he's got a lot of experience. He's been winning games with undermatched teams,
Hmm.
and that's always a great sign for doing it a long time and everything like that. So I think Rivera gets his guy here with Desmond Ritter, but it could also be a Malik Willis, Sam Howell, it can be any of the quarterbacks on the
Yeah.
board, but I think they definitely go quarterback here.
Yeah, I like the Desmond Ritter pick here to the Commandos.
Yeah. Number 2.
12.
They're sorry, 12.
No, you're good.
Wow. Number 12.
Number 12, Vikings here, Derek Stingley Jr. I like the pick. They obviously need the help at corner. And Derek Stingley can be that guy. Just, I don't know. It's kind of tough to pick him. Obviously, we saw how good he was freshman year. He was an absolute beast his freshman year, but then had a little bit of injuries happen and then some like effort concerns. But I think if you can get that freshman Derek Stingley out of him when you draft him, I think he could probably be one of the best rookie corners we maybe have ever seen. But you just have to hope that you can get that out of him. But I'm not mad at the pick. They need the help, and he could be the guy that could do it for them. So I like the pick here at 12.
Yeah, and freshman Derek Stingley would have been a top 5 pick in this draft. But
yeah, 100%.
yeah, I mean, this is interesting at least. All right, I kind of gave a sneak peek to the Browns one, but we got Garrett Wilson. If Gage was here, he would be frustrated that Treylon Burks has already been gone.
Yeah.
But in the event that Treylon Burks is gone, he's happy that it's Garrett Wilson. I think we have the kind of consensus that Treylon Burks and Garrett Wilson are our number 1A, 1B kind of deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, Browns are most likely leaning that way just to kind of catch up with the rest of the NFL and having more than just one wide receiver target, if they even have that next year. So, kind of a little late, but it's something that they're doing to make sure that they shore up the offensive side enough to give Baker enough weapons to get them in the playoffs. So I like this pick.
Yep.
We've gone ad nauseum on this one, but great separator. It's a great pick. So
yeah, I like that pick a lot.
Number 14, Baltimore Ravens.
Going David Ojabo. I'm sure if Gage was here, he'd either say I'd say he probably says he hates that pick.
Yeah.
Because I think he can fit their defense very well. I think he'll prosper there very well. I think he'll just fit right in and become an absolute monster that he already is, in a sense. Kind of got a little overshadowed by Aiden Hutchinson there, but I'd say he's almost on that same level as him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the pick here at 14 for the Ravens, going with Ojabo. I think it's a good pick for him. Can fit right in, probably get the job done.
Yeah, I think he'll start rising more on boards, but this is a great pick anyways.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 15, Eagles, Tyler Linderbaum. I'm starting to kind of not want to go interior offensive line with the Eagles the more I think about it. I think getting a Tyler Linderbaum right here will be fine, and I think that's what a lot of Eagles fans want. But getting other players to fit in at guard can move in Landon Dickerson, who played that for, I want to say, Alabama center. And center, the reason why it doesn't get drafted in the first round is because it's truly not it's not hard to find centers. Tyler Linderbaum is probably the best center that come in the draft since, last 10 years, but there's still reasons why there's only been like 4 or 5 in the last 10 years taken in the first round. So, I don't know. If I'm the Eagles here, you're using the first round, 3 of your first round picks. You're starting it off with one of the least valuable first round players. I don't know. For me, I'm kind of starting to lean against the interior offensive line here. But this is going to make a lot of Eagles fans happy.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But getting other pieces might prove more valuable for the Eagles. Number 16, you want to take that one?
Yep. Trent McDuffie, my man. Trent McDuffie here at 16 to the Eagles. I like Trent McDuffie. He's really good. And if you were in the Pac-12 and you played Washington, you knew he was really good because you didn't really throw towards him. So I think the Eagles need the help at corner, and I think with Stingley and Gardner already off the board, I think getting Trent McDuffie here at 16 is it's a good pick. You need it, and Trent McDuffie is that guy. So I think it's a good pick here at 16 for the Eagles for sure.
Yeah, and I think the way he measures out is going to kind of define a lot for Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
But with where we're sitting at now, he does look like the real deal. So number 17 is going to be the Chargers taking
Yep.
Nakobe Dean. So Nakobe Dean is, I think he's starting to become more of a two to the, instead of a 1A, 1B, I think he's starting to become a 1-2 to Devon Lloyd. But that's still argumented, right? It's still argued right now.
Mm-hmm.
He would be a great linebacker for the Chargers because they got Kenneth Murray. I think he kind of is more of the yin to his yang. They do different things very well, and I think that would prove to be pretty helpful with where their defense is at right now. But a lot of people are going to throw in what's his face, Jordan Davis here because they just can't stop the run, and that's a great pick and all, but you're going to have more options with defensive tackle in the second round than you are linebackers,
Yeah.
and you're taking a top guy at that position. A linebacker, I think that's still going to be a really good deal there. So you're not losing a whole lot of value taking Nakobe Dean, and he's just such a freak athlete. So I think this is a good pick. I prefer this over Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
But
100%.
I still might take Devonta Wyatt over Nakobe Dean here.
Yeah.
All right. 18.
18. Saints here going with Kenyon Green. Funny we mentioned this because comment on last video they were talking about one of the Saints fans was talking about getting an offensive lineman, and here you go, buddy, you got your Kenyon Green.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can always use offensive linemen; they're always very helpful to have. And I think Kenyon Green, he can probably yeah, Kenyon Green can get the job done on the offensive line for sure. It kind of just depends on what they want more. If they want to beef up that line or maybe get some more guys in their receiver room, depending on what Michael Thomas does. They might their defense is pretty good, but they might be cutting people, slimming down, going into full rebuild mode. Don't really know what's going on yet. But anyways, Kenyon Green at 18, though, that's a good pick for sure.
Yeah, and Broshmo, he'll mention this every time with Kenyon Green. He views Kenyon Green as an offensive tackle potential prospect. I don't know if the Saints need a tackle right now, but you plug him in right at guard and he'll be fire, and then maybe he takes over at tackle. But great pick. Number 19, we got the Eagles' next pick, and they go Jermaine Johnson. And I would say my brother's an Eagles fan, and I feel like, listening to what the Eagles have needed, I feel like edge is something that would be nice, but just with the right value. I think here you got Drake London. I think the Eagles would prefer Drake London over Jermaine Johnson here. And you also have Chris Olave and Jameson Williams. I think wide receiver is a big need for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And edge is a need, but it's more for the future need than it is a right here and right now kind of need. And I don't think Jermaine Johnson has necessarily proven that he's so elite that you take him over a wide receiver for the offense, because that was just something that the Eagles just all they do is run, and they need some more bodies to catch balls. But I don't know. I would have preferred to see a wide receiver here, especially Drake London, but Jermaine Johnson has been looking good in Senior Bowl and everything. So I wouldn't say it's the worst pick ever in the world, but I don't know if they go 3 picks without taking a wide receiver in the first round.
Yeah.
All right, number 20.
Ooh, 20 here. Steelers picking up old Kenny Two Gloves.
I need 2 gloves.
I don't hate the pick. The Steelers, they do need a quarterback, but I don't know if Kenny Pickett's really that guy anymore. I think when you still have Matt Corral on the board or Sam Howell, I think those are 2 guys you'd probably look at instead. Not saying like Kenny Pickett's bad or anything, but I think Sam Howell and Matt Corral have kind of passed Kenny Pickett in a sense, just based off of their abilities and what they can do, and actually having man hands. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers do need a quarterback. I don't think they go Kenny Pickett. I think and once the draft actually comes around, they'll probably trade up for Malik Willis in a sense or someone else. But I'd see a Sam Howell or Matt Corral here instead of Kenny Pickett. I think they can do a better job with what
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin runs.
Yeah, and the rumors are that it might be Carson Wentz there, so we'll
Yep.
see.
We'll
But
see what happens.
all right, number 21, your boys, the Patriots, are going George Karlaftis, and I know that you want a wide receiver desperately here, the situation, but honestly, you're looking at either adding in a Drake London, Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson, or Jameson Williams. There's a lot of just questions of whether they all those guys are going to be wide receiver ones. And when you spent a ton of money on 4 offensive targets last year, um, you can still go and get wide receiver. I think that's great and all, and I think that's still the preferred pick here. But when you're looking at someone like George Karlaftis, you're getting a very good defensive end. I think he's more a D end than he is a pure like edge rusher. But he's going to be in the backfield all the time. He's going to get wreak havoc on a Josh Allen or a Zach Wilson or a Tua, and it just makes your defense that much more um,
Feared.
scary. Yeah, feared. And at the end of the day, if you look at it, Tom Brady had the least or the most amount of playoff games played with a top 10 defense, and he has the most Super Bowls. So I think this still is a really good pick because you get such a like solid dude, and you're gonna get options to go get wide receivers in the second round or free agency. So
True.
this isn't the end of the world for the Patriots. It's just probably not the most ideal pick, but George Karlaftis is such a BPA pick
Yeah.
right here that it does make some sense.
And the fact that Jermaine Johnson went before him.
Yeah, I there's some people that might prefer him, but
Yeah.
you know that's just my take on this. But I know you would still prefer to have Jameson Williams.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the board.
Yeah. All right, number 22.
22, Zion Johnson to the Raiders here. He's Boston College, right? Is he the Boston College guy?
I believe so. Yeah, he
Yeah.
transferred there last year too.
Yeah. Raiders, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, linemen aren't bad to have. It's always nice to have that beefy line. Get guys that work well with your system and being able to protect Derek Carr there. It's always not always a bad thing to look to. There's obviously a few other positions of need that they could use, but I think there's more depth in those other positions that they could look for in later rounds, and I think you got to go ahead and you got to get the you got to use your pick to get that lineman that you're going to want. So I think with how quickly linemen are going off the board here this first round, I think you got to go ahead and pull the trigger on it and get it done at 22, Zion Johnson.
Yeah. All right, 23. We got the Cardinals taking Chris Olave, which okay, this one I don't feel like wide receiver is the issue for the Cardinals,
No.
and they have DeAndre Hopkins. They have, I think Christian Kirk is still there, and they also spent money on or draft capital on Rondell Moore last year. I mean, they're going to have a lot of options, especially with having Kyler Murray there. I don't like this pick for the Cardinals because I just think you're wasting the value for a wide receiver
Excuse
in
me.
this situation. Obviously, Chris Olave is great,
Yeah.
but I mean, with the Cardinals, you just said like offensive linemen's going quick. They're going to start running out. Why not take a Trevor Penning here
Oh, yeah.
or a Bernhard Raimann or someone along that lines? Um, Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I would prefer to see someone else there.
Yeah.
24 Cowboys.
Jordan Davis on the interior defensive line there. I like it. I like it. That's about
That's
all I
it.
got, I guess. I don't know.
Alright.
There's a
That's
few
fair.
there's a few different picks that could go here that could help out their defense, but I mean Jordan Davis here, it's not an awful pick.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not the worst thing you can do, but
Yeah, I mean maybe I don't like it. Maybe I'm just trying to tell myself that.
I think Cowboys would be a little disappointed with this pick, but
Perfect. That's why I like it. That's what I was going with.
there you go. All right, number 25, we got Drake London to the Bills. I okay, for
I
real
hate
though, Drake
Broshmo.
London.
Hate Broshmo.
I don't see Drake London in Buffalo
I
though.
don't either, but if it happens, I hate the pick.
But I don't know. I just honestly don't know if I like this because uh, I mean they'll make him look good for sure and all that kind of stuff, but like I just feel the type of player he is you have better options already. Like if you're looking for someone that's gonna play like a tight end in the slot, you got Dawson Knox there. If you want a slot receiver, you already got Stephon Diggs there. And then, that's kind of what Drake London is other than just a contested catch ball. And I mean, I don't think contested catch alone is worth this pick.
I
I
think
would
I
I
think they
would
should
worry
go.
about other
I think they should go
positions
kicker.
first. No, but like I would have gone offensive line or D line.
Yeah, or
I think. I
corner.
mean, yeah, corner too. Like even just someone like a Kyler Gordon here would be dope.
Or Andrew
But
Booth.
I love Drake London, and it's weird to see him fall
Yeah,
and still not like the pick because like it's the same thing with the Cardinals. It's just I don't know why they're taking wide receiver in the first round when they have other options with valuable players as well.
yeah.
All right, number 26 though.
Trevor
There we go.
Penning to the Titans. Ooh. That's a good pick for the Titans, obviously, with how much they run the ball, because Trevor Penning is an absolute animal. He is a mean guy in the trenches. He don't give a F who you are. Dude was literally talking smack to everybody at the Senior Bowl. He was a freaking legend there. He gets down and he gets dirty, and I think that's what the Titans are looking for on their offensive line there to kind of help lead the way for Derrick Henry when they are running the ball. So I like this pick right here at 26 for the Titans, going with Trevor Penning. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it, but that's because I'm a Colts fan. All right, number 27, Devonta Wyatt. I'm glad that they went with Devonta Wyatt. If Jordan Davis is on the board, they still should have gone with Devonta Wyatt here because Vita Vea is what you're going to ask Jordan Davis to do. Devonta Wyatt is more of the D tackle that can kind of go as a D end if needed. Um, but he's just got a lot of burst to him. He's really a great athlete for his size, and so is Jordan Davis, but it's just in different ways. But I think Devontae Wyatt gives more ammunition for that defensive line where they're getting older and the brakes might start to fall off a little bit with them. So I think Devontae Wyatt's nice. Him and Vita Vea together is just going to be hell for anyone who wants to run the ball. So
Yeah.
that'll be a good pick as well.
Yep.
But 28.
28 here. Leo Chanel. Linebacker here out of, I believe, Wyoming, right? Or is this Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. That's right.
Yeah.
Leo.
Puma is the
Yes, there you go. Yeah. But Leo Chanel here to the Packers. I think they need to address other positions other than linebacker.
I feel that way as well.
Depending on what happens with the whole Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams thing, I still think they need to look at other positions instead. but Leo Chanel, he's not a bad player. Just
Yeah.
haven't really seen him in the first round a lot. I think he's
Well, and I think the thing is like everyone say, oh, what if it's your top player on the board or whatever, and that might be a good reason, but to me, you don't necessarily pick by need, but you avoid taking players that you don't need
yeah,
as well. Not avoid, but like you don't take players just because they're the best player available. You take them because they're gonna actually start for your team, or they're
yeah.
actually gonna be, yeah. So
I'd actually like to, if any Packers fans are watching this video, I would like if you could comment so we can actually see what you guys are thinking as well on a pick like this and what you guys are thinking around your organization in general for needs from the draft.
yeah.
But yeah, Leo Chanel here at 28.
All right, and so Myjai Sanders here at 29. I would just go watch Broshmo on this one. He's a Dolphins fan. I think he'll let everyone know that. But this is an edge pick that I think Broshmo really likes here. He knows this team a lot better than we do. I think typically most people are going to go with an offensive lineman here, or maybe like a corner or someone like that, especially with Xavier Howard wanting to kind of get out of town a little bit. But Myjai Sanders, I think he's out of Penn State. Is that right?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay, yeah, Cincinnati. Sorry. Um, which is still in Pennsylvania. No, that's Ohio. I'm even worse. Okay, but yeah, Myjai Sanders. I'm just gonna trust him here. I think he knows what his team is like, but he's not an edge that I've gotten a lot of tape on. So this could be just a diamond in the rough, and he really likes him kind of deal. So I won't do any bashing on this pick.
Yep.
But number 30.
30 here, Chiefs, Andrew Booth Jr. Thank you, Broshmo, because Jameson Williams is still on the board. But yeah, the pick here makes sense for the Chiefs. They need help at the corner. There's still really good corners on the board, and Andrew Booth, I think he'll fit their system well. He's a great open field tackler, really good at man, and I think he'll fit the bill there at the Chiefs. So I like that pick a lot, and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah, 31 is going to be the Bengals. And they have Kyler Gordon here. And I wonder how much of a reaction of this is the Eli Apple debacle in the Super Bowl.
Probably.
Because everyone's going to be screaming and hollering for an offensive lineman here. And you definitely could give him one, Bernhard Raimann and stuff like that. But I guess if you're looking at this, the tackles at this point are going to be a few years out from being truly like stars on the offensive line. So rather than taking someone that's going to take yet more time and not make as big of an impact next year, you take someone that could potentially make a big impact with Kyler Gordon. You get a very solid corner who's got a lot of upside with his athletic ability, and he has shown good tape and everything. So I like this pick a lot. I think Kyler Gordon's going to eventually start to take off with his draft stock because of his athletic ability. So I think this would be a great pick by the Bengals, and they still need to get offensive linemen, but there's other ways to do that than first round picks. So
yeah, and I think with all the ones that have already been gone off the board, I think he was thinking more along the lines of we can fill in another position of need with a player that's worth the first round pick instead of just reaching for a guy just because you need him when you could more than likely probably get him in the second round. So
exactly,
I can kind of see what he's doing here, and I like the pick for him.
Yeah. All right, last pick here.
No, just kidding. 32 here, Jameson Williams to the Lions. I like the pick for him. I still think, it's not bad to go out and get yourself a receiver like Jameson Williams. You can always use one. And then pair him up with Amon-Ra St. Brown would be insane. But I think there's still a few other positions that they need to fill besides their wide receiver. Not, I mean, it's on. They need help on a few positions. Wide receiver is one of them, but I don't know if you go ahead and. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, it's a tough one. I like it. I like it, and I don't know how I really feel about it.
Yeah, I think this is good. I think a lot of people are gonna say go with someone like a safety or a linebacker that they
Yeah.
might need or something like that. There's other corners that are very good too. That's something that
Mm-hmm.
they've needed. But I mean, you give more weapons for Jared Goff. The last time Jared Goff had a ton of weapons was in the Rams, and he never looked. Or I mean, he was able to do something with them. So it's another building piece.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think overall this is a
Huh.
very good draft.
Yeah.
I mean, we're starting to put grades on these. I would say for right now, this is kind of leaning towards the B plus range for me. Maybe even a light A minus. But I really like a lot of the picks that he threw in here that are more like, okay, these are great players for this
Yeah.
team. Um,
This
there's
was.
nothing really that stands out that's just like so awful. I
Yeah.
would
No.
prefer not Linderbaum
Yeah.
and Jermaine Johnson here and just kind of get more of your skill positions
Mm-hmm.
sorted out. I think George Karlaftis of the Patriots is one that you probably don't like.
Oh, I
And
mean,
then
is what it is.
yeah. And then Olave, London, um, and yeah, I mean, a lot of those aren't like they're bad players. It's just they're starting to kind of feel like they might not fit with what the team is needing. But you can say that about almost any pick. So
Yeah.
I feel like this is it's not just a here's the same regurgitated mock draft. This is thoughtful
Yep.
and kind of spicy as he says, but it's honestly not that bad.
No, yeah, I
I
like
would
it.
say B plus.
Yep, that's what I'd give it. I'd either give it a B or a B plus. It's very well thought out. He kind of, you can tell he put some time into each pick, looking at what they really need and who's still on the board and what's available. So, very well thought out one. Few picks as you went through, but you're always gonna have that. It's a little bit of a different one for sure, but it's probably one of the best ones out there right now for sure. Broshmo, he's a very intelligent guy when it comes to this stuff. So, oh, I like it. Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
B plus for sure.
sweet. Well, I mean, if you guys like this kind of stuff, obviously give us a little like,
Yep.
subscribe action, do that whole thing. But also comment, if you have a particular favorite team, what you think of the pick and what you would have done if you were taking the pick there. Keep in mind, you got to kind of go with who's already off the board, but give us a comment on that, and then keep an eye out for our mock draft videos. But we're also going to start doing free agency videos and just taking the whole off season under our belt and
Oh yeah.
doing everything there. So
Yep.
yeah, keep a lookout for all of that, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Keep on keeping on.